Well, with Star Wars The Force Awakens basically breaking every box office record there is over the last month, I guess there's no better way to start off the year than with something Star Wars related.
Premiering in October of 2014 on Disney XD, Star Wars Rebels is the most recent in the line of Star Wars related TV series, and the first to be produced after Disney acquired the rights to the property in 2012. It's also the second series to be computer generated after Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was one of the better animated series to premiere in that animation dark age of 2005 to 2009. Unfortunately, I stopped watching sometime around the fourth season, not because I thought it had dipped in quality, but because I just got too busy with other stuff going on. Both of these shows were actually developed by the same person, Dave Filoni, who also directed a lot of the first season of Avatar. Set about 14 years after Revenge of the Sith, it seems to be well liked by fans, and it's on its way to a third season.
So let's look at the 42-minute TV movie that started the series, Spark of Rebellion, which was actually written by Simon Kinberg, who's written a few good movies like Sherlock Holmes and X-Men Days of Future Past, but he's also helped write X-Men 3 and Fantastic Four, so this could go either way. Also, I shot my first reaction to the movie and will show certain parts of it during this review. If this goes well, I'll do this for all my future reviews too.
We begin with a young boy named Ezra looking out over the land of, I guess, Lothal? That's what Wikipedia says. And then, spaceship.
Well, they're just not wasting any time. It's like we're getting right into the action.
Ezra heads out as the ship heads for a small town. I love this intro. It reminds me a lot of A New Hope. Just starting with little information and shit already going down. It's like, here's a character, bad guys are attacking, it's Star Wars, let's get started. Some Imperial officers are heckling a salesman who looks a lot like he transported from Sonic Boom. Ezra comes over pretending to be a beggar and steals something off the officer's belt.
Yeah, because no one would notice that.
All officers to the main square. This is a code red emergency.
It's your lucky day, Lothal scum. You two, come with us.
Yes, we have an emergency. Drop all prisoners and come help us.
This is a code red.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Wait, what are you doing?
Hey, the kid's gotta eat.
Who is that kid?
Aladdin!
Ezra looks over the officers, but then notices a disturbance in the Force. It turns out to be a man named Cannon, who along with Tiger Man here named Zeb and Boba's sister here Zabim, blow up a speeder bike and after a pretty cool action scene, steal their supplies.
Thanks for doing the heavy lifting.
Typical Mary Sue.
I love this next action scene, but I'm not sure if it's an insult that what comes to mind when I watch it is less speeder bikes from Endor and more Mega Race from Spy Kids 3. Ezra is eventually stopped once the Empire brings their TIE fighters in, but thankfully Cannon comes to his rescue.
And then they beat him up for stealing his stuff.
Nope, although Zeb clearly wants to. It turns out the crate was filled with blasters, which are apparently worth a lot on the black market. Piloting the ship is Hera.
Oh, hey, it's one of those things. A Twi'lek or Twi'lek or Tweaker. What the hell are they called? How do you pronounce that?
And last on the team is Chopper, our R2-D2 BB-8 of the show. The ship is attacked by some more TIE fighters and Zeb throws Ezra into a storage closet.
Sabine, where's the kid?
Calm down, Chief. He's in.
Sam, where is he?
Okay, could someone please explain to me the weight limit in most ventilation shafts, because it seems to be a get-out-of-jail-free card in most family shows.
I'm in space.
Wow, who thought a spaceship would take me to space?
Sabine finds him and takes off her mask.
Even in space they dye their hair.
Because even in a galaxy far, far away, hair care is important. Just ask Padme and Leia. They jump into hyperspace and back on Lothal. Agent Callus of the Imperial Security Bureau inspects the damage. Also, he has the greatest beard I have ever seen. After this, the term neckbeard can no longer be used as an insult.
Theft of a few crates. It could signify the spark of rebellion.
He said it! He said it!
The ship lands back on Lothal as the group heads out with the crates.
Hey, where are they going?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Oh, and I might just kill you anyway.
And that cemented this guy as my favorite character.
It turns out they were bringing the crates to a settlement camp called Tarkintown, where they can load up on food and guns, just like the American South. Also, apparently a member of the Greedo species is there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute, his species can speak English? Oh, hotshot, first joke.
The boss pays them, but also gives them some information on prisoners being held by the Empire.
Keep going.
I could. Or I could stop and trade the rest of the bounty for another bit of intel you've been begging after.
The Wookiees?
The Wookiees.
The Wookiees.
That night, the Force leads Ezra to Kanan's room where he is able to break in.
Again, typical Mary Sue.
And in there, he finds a futuristic Rubik's Cube and a lightsaber. But Kanan finds him and tells him to give it back. It turns out that a group of Wookiees that were working for the old rebellion have been captured and are being taken to a slave labor camp. So they have to intercept the ship transporting them. They find the ship and say they have more Wookiee prisoners to transport and are led on the ship.
That thing's not a Wookiee.
Haven't you ever seen a rare hairless Wookiee before?
Oh, forget it.
I don't have anything to add to that, I just thought it was really awesome.
Hera loses contact with the group once they get on the ship, and Ezra feels that something is wrong. In other words,
I have a bad feeling about this. You need to board the transport and warn them.
No, no way. Why would I risk my life for a bunch of strangers?
Because Kanan risked his for you. If all you do is fight for your own life, then your life is worth nothing.
That's actually a really good point that fits today's world way too well.
Ezra comes to warn them that it's a trap.
It's a trap!
And they run. Chopper manages to disable the gravity, which is something I'm surprised I haven't seen in Star Wars yet, and they escape. Well, almost.
Let go!
Get out of the way!
I'm trying!
Sorry, kid!
Okay, that doesn't happen, but he is imprisoned.
And you are?
Jabba the Hutt.
Ha.
They take most of his stuff, but leave the Rubik's Cube, which, after some meditation, turns out to be more than just a Rubik's Cube, but a message.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
I regret to report that almost all our friends are dead, but if we trust in the Force, the thing that technically led to their deaths in the first place, we can't lose.
The group decides to go back for him, but he seems to be handling himself pretty well, since they put the two dumbest stormtroopers in the series to guard him.
I guarantee he'll make a personal example. Bye, guys.
That's almost guard and Blood Rain level incompetence. He steals a stormtrooper helmet and manages to deflect half the squad to the other side of the ship as the group comes to save him. They immediately find him and escape off the ship using a trick straight out of Aliens.
Take cover!
That had to be the easiest rescue mission I've ever seen. They arrived, the prisoner found them, and then they sucked half the guards out of the ship.
Thank you. I really didn't think you'd come back for me.
I'll get you home now. I'm sure your parents must be worried sick.
I don't have parents.
Well, of course you don't. You're the main character in a Star Wars product. Your parents are either dead, turned evil, or missing in action.
Ezra tells them where the Wookiees actually are and they head off.
Oh god, Lumpy! No!
The group arrives, and while they distract the Empire with a shootout, Ezra frees the Wookiees and they head back to the ship. But the little one runs away, with one of the stormtroopers chasing him. While Kanan takes out his lightsaber, letting them all know he's a Jedi, Ezra goes to rescue the little Wookiee.
Hey!
Okay, you're a Jedi. You've already mastered the super jump.
Callus finds them and believes he must be Kanan's apprentice.
Such a rare find these
days.
I don't know where you get your delusions, Buckethead. I work alone.
Not this time.
Well, I didn't expect them to kill him off so quickly.
Nope, he's still alive and kicking. The little Wookiee is reunited with his dad. Ezra gives the message back, meaning he passed some kind of test, and now he can be brought on as Kanan's apprentice.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed, and our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged, but we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge.
Ha!
Ah, Agent Callus. You did well to call.
So that was Star Wars Rebels, and yeah, it was pretty good.
We'll start with the writing. The best thing I can say is that I really liked these new characters. Ezra is sort of a mix between Luke Skywalker and Aladdin. He's a bit of a jerk, but he has a good heart. Kanan is a badass, Zeb is hilarious, Hera is a good voice of reason, and Sabine, well, I just like characters who work with explosives. Chopper's okay, but he didn't get to do much. I like the story they're going with. It makes sense that it would be happening at this point in the timeline. The only problem I have is that it seems they get out of problems a little too easily, and I know they only had 42 minutes, and they had a lot of ground to cover, but they always seem to be prepared for every single thing they get into. As for the animation, the ships look amazing. There are times where I honestly thought they looked real.
That looks like something that could be in the movies.
The environments also look great. The character animation is good, but it looks a little blocky and has that problem a lot of TV grade CG has, where the hair just looks like plastic. And it makes the Wookiees look really, really creepy. The voice acting is okay. It wasn't bad, but I was almost always aware that I was listening to someone acting. Maybe I'll get used to it, or it will get better, but that was probably my biggest issue. Although thankfully I was also consistently entertained. While the characters do get out a few situations a little too easily, it still had a lot of suspense, the action scenes were a lot of fun, and it had a lot of good comedy, although some jokes were a bit cliche.
I know you're not gonna believe me, but it's like this thing wanted me to take it.
You're right. I don't believe you.
And just like the movies, it has a good sense of adventure. That's something Star Wars almost always gets right. In fact, the only Star Wars related product that I've seen that didn't get that right was this one.
But yeah, I really like this movie, I guess. And we'll definitely check out the rest of this series. Hell, I might go back and rewatch Star Wars The Clone Wars. I think it's on Netflix. Anyway, next time we'll be traveling from a galaxy far, far away to the jungles of Africa. See you then. The Rubik's Cube of the future is really lame.